Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you here once again to the great nation of Italy. We're going to be running at the circuit that is located in Monza for the 14th round of XRL's X2 third season. I'm Insanely R14. Our normal co-host Herbie has not been able to join with us tonight, sadly, so it looks like it will be a solo project. However, we will be bringing you all the action right here from the track. We're going to be getting underway in a few minutes here for qualifying. Qualifying, per usual, by XRL standards, is going to be full qualifying, 18-minute, then a 15-minute, then a 12-minute session with the full field, then the top 15, then the top 10 cars in that order. And then we'll have a 50% race. Earlier today, we had the X3 event, and it was crazy because all of the championship contending drivers either end up not starting or end up with significant accidents and penalties that dropped them way down the field, and the Ferrari team, which had been struggling massively throughout the entirety of the X3, ended up coming out of nowhere and pulling home a first and sixth place finish, a win for the Ferrari at their home track, and the first time winner in the event. The X3 race earlier today was absolutely incredible. We are anticipating similar incredible results here today in the X2 event. But anyways, everyone's starting to get readied up. Not everyone has shown up yet, though. Drivers are still properly loading up. But of the drivers who are here, when it comes to the Mercedes F1 team, you're going to have Ty Gorez and Jabez John. Then for the Scuderia Ferrari, Dedgar 1988 and XRL Ultimate will be bringing us down. For the Red Bull team, XRL Fiend and XRL Zola will be leading that group. And for the McLaren, it's going to be XRL Anderson and Beard Boost. Renault is going to be represented once more by Elfin Starfish and XRL Pingu, while the AlphaTauri Honda is going to be represented by PPR Venom and Wise Uter 85. The Williams team will have Smoothie 25 and XRL Low there. Haas is being represented by XRL Ollie, Alfa Romeo is being represented by CJ Allen, and Racing Point is going to be represented by Ryan Hurricane. We anticipate there may be one or two more drivers who will show up before we get too far into it here. We should be underway sooner rather than later. In fact, we should have one or two more drivers able to show up and ready up in their car before we get underway here. Real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and try to run down the point scenario as they stand right now here in F1 2020's XRL X2 division as I go ahead and bring it up. But we've had a very, very significant year where Beard Boost has been pretty much the sole dominant factor almost all year long, and I believe he has locked up the championship as long as he can earn some points today. I'm going to check real quickly here. Standings. Here we are. When it comes to the Constructors' Championship, the Scuderia Ferrari and Aston Martin Red Bull are struggling in 9th and 10th positions, with Red Bull only having 2 points over the 54 points that Ferrari has. For the Mercedes F1 team, it's 63 points. For the Racing Point, it's 85. Williams is 6 on the boards with 98 points, while the Renault has 107. The Haas F1 team has 144 points, just 3 out from the AlphaTauri Hondas. Alfa Romeo has 172 points, but it doesn't matter because when it comes down to it, thanks to Beard Boost's massive success and domination, the fact that no one's really been able to touch them all year long, the McLaren F1 team has 426 manufacturer points. They have locked up the manufacturer's title. When it comes to the Driver Championship, things are in a similar scenario. Beard Boost has locked up the Drivers' Championship with 313 points. CJ Allen has 130. XRL Anderson has 113 points. So the battle is going to be for second between the Alfa Romeo and the other McLaren. Then you have Joe Pelli with 82 points in the Haas. Wise Uter with 59 in the AlphaTauri. Flying Wallaby has 49 points in the Racing Point, just 4 ahead of XRL in the Williams. Hush has 44 in the Mercedes with 38 for XRL Fiend and the Red Bull. The other Williams has 34 points. The other AlphaTauri has 33. 28 points for XRL Zola. He is 12th on the boards in his Red Bull, while the Mercedes of Jabez John is 13th with 19 points. 15 points for Dedgar 1988 in the Ferrari and 12 for Mr. Shmee in the other Ferrari. BRL Phantom is the lowest driver who still has points. He has 2 points to his name in the Haas. The 2 Renaults have yet to score points, as does the Racing Point of King Joffrey and the Alfa Romeo of Ken H. So, championship is already locked up. It's going to come down to a battle of where are we going to show up when it comes to the top 2 in standings for Drivers' Championship. Anyways, we should be getting underway sooner rather than later here. Everyone has shown up except one of our Mercedes drivers have dropped out. It's Sasha Andre, who will be partnering with Ryan Hurricane. In the Racing Point for the Alfa Romeo, it's Ken H3093, who's going to be running with CJ Allen. And the Haas machine, it's Joe Pelly and XRL Ollie. Waiting for our other Mercedes drivers to come back. Right. It should be Sack, I think? I'm not sure. Yeah, we should be underway relatively shortly here. There you are, Ty Gores is back, and he'll probably load back into the Mercedes, and then we should be able to get underway right away for qualifying. 18-minute session, followed by a 15-minute session, followed by a 12-minute session. Then afterwards, we'll have a roughly 5 to 6 minute break before we get underway for the race itself. Should be underway in just a second. You can hear the clock counting down. Last week, when not last week, we were off last week, but last race, when X2 was running at Spa, there was a significantly long, wet weather race throughout the entire event. Now, not looking at the same scenario. We are now looking at what could ideally be a dry race. Also, XRL Low is dedicating his race today to a friend of his named Berto, who passed away a week ago in a biking accident. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Berto's family and friends. As we now begin to load up the circuit, a nice sunny track greets the field here at Monza. Now the question simply is, who is going to be the first driver to come out of the pits and begin hot lapping? So Monza, without a doubt, the fastest track in Formula One calendar, one of the fastest tracks in the world. Its name is up there, if not leading the charge, amongst the likes of Avis and Talladega. But unlike those circuits, Monza is known particularly for being a road course in the last 50 or so years. The banked corners that once housed have been abandoned, although there are plans to get those repaved and reused over the next few years. So with the paved corners pretty much being non-useful, this is one of the, if not the fastest road course in the entire world. And it looks like the first car who's going to try and come out into the track is going to be the Ferrari of XRL Ultimate. Ferrari had a very, very good run in X3. They won the race in a very shocking performance. In fact, all the Ferrari engine cars were very strong in X3. We'll be curious to see if the same thing holds true in X2 today. Ollie is going to be the next one out. He is coming out on the softs. In fact, everyone's more than likely going to be using softs for Q1. The goal is to get into Q2. Wise Uter, it's saying, is on medium tire compounds, a very unique choice, to say the least. And here's Sasha Andre, who's a little bit farther up on the track. He's already come out. Once one came out, they all started coming out. We're already looking at roughly half the field who has merged onto the track. is CJ Allen. He is now coming out. Dedgar has yet to come out, though. Zola hasn't come out quite yet. Neither has Davis. John Ken is beginning his run out. And already, Ultimate, an incident on the warm-up lap for Ultimate. So a driver who is the first out is not going to be the first across the line as he totals the car before we even get on the way. We're not even 3 full minutes into Q1 and already our first dropout from the Ferrari team. Weizuter. And the AlphaTauri will be silent in the booth and spend 1 lap on board with him so you can hear what it's like running full bore at Monza. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very unexpected development, to say the least. We saw right here that Dedgar was suddenly disqualified for parking in an illegitimate part of the track, and then all of a sudden the entire lobby, I'm not sure if they kicked me out, or if the entire lobby was reset due to track issues. Alright, come on, game. Yeah, kind of currently stuck in between lobbies right now. What? Okay. Yes, thank you, game. What in the world is going on? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching I don't know if this is brand new, but we're watching a glitch that's brand new for me here on Formula 1 2020. This is, very interesting. Hey, the people are fine, though. A little bit low res, but they're fine at least. I'm gonna try and figure out what the heck is going on right now. Okay, apparently I have to do a total game restart, so the broadcast will end shortly, but we'll be back afterwards. This is hilarious. Okay, gonna try once more to load into the lobby so we can actually cover qualifying. And there's our answer. We have missed a significant amount of qualifying session due to a glitch on my end, not something from the game itself. I mean, it is from the game, but the entire lobby hasn't crashed. So we're going to try and catch you up on everything that happened while we were away here at Monza. Very unique scenario here, to say the least. So Degger 1988 had a wheel problem that kicked him out. Anderson has retired. Ty Gores has retired from the session as well just now. XRL is on his out lap. The times right now are between 119s and 121s. Pingu, Sasha, Andre, and Zola are all the three slowest on the track right now, but are trying desperately to improve their time. Smoothie 25 is trying to turn lap, as is Davis John and CJ Allen. And that's CJ Allen to the top with a 119.490. Jabez John and Smoothie 25 are the two that need to start same times now in order to be able to advance into Q2. Of note, Uter is still 9th on the timesheets on the medium tire compound, so a very unique thing. Also of note is that Beard Boost is only 4th on the timesheets. CJ Allen, Ty Gores, and XRL Ali are all ahead of him at the moment. This is XRL Low. He is going to try and improve on his time. He has a well, actually, no. It looks like his fuel is low, so he'll more than likely have to pit. He is 10th on the timesheets right now. This is XRL Zola. He is 14th on the timesheets right now with a 120.986. And here comes Smoothie 25. Davis John set a time 121.409. At the line, Smoothie, he'll be the last driver to set a time today, his first time. It's good enough for 14th, 120.674. He might want to see if he can improve on that because Zola is still out there, as is Davis John, and that's one of the racing points that are backwards there. That was Sasha Andre. I don't know what's happened to him, but he is completely facing the wrong way. There's no one coming, so he should be safe to get moving now as he spins across the circuit here and now begins to get underway. Sasha Andre, who is third fastest on the timesheets as of now with a 119.671. Not going to be very happy with that. Meanwhile, this is XRL Zola coming out of the final corner. He's just a small amount up. When he came out of the second sector, he better hope he gained a lot in Parabolica. Coming to the line. 1:20.803. He's closer to Fiend, but not close enough. We've seen time and time again in X2. That's always been Fiend versus Zola trying to get into Q2. One of them seems to make it, one of them never does, and we may be looking at a similar scenario here. This is Javis John. He is 2.3 seconds down. This lap is not going to be the one for him. He has to pit for fuel anyway. Pingu is still in the pit lane. This is Smoothie 25. He's 14th on the timesheets, but I don't think he's going to feel confident with that. He needs to see if he can improve from that point. CJ Allen is retired from the session. No need to clutter up the track if you already are guaranteed to get into Q2. Smoothie is going ahead and jumping into the pits. This is Ken H3093. He is 13th in the Alfa Romeo right now with a 1:20.619. Sasha Andre is now also retired from the session. Ollie, Beard Boost, and Starfish in the top in 4th, 5th, and 6th are all in pit lane. I don't see any move from them coming out. Anderson is retired as well, and there's Ollie's retired, so yeah. Much, much cleaner track than what we had at this point in X3, but granted X3 was in the rain under qualifying 1. Meanwhile, this is Zola. He's going ahead and jumping into the pits. So right now, Ken and PPR Venom are the only two cars out on the track. Ken the only one in position to change his lap time right now. He's already in the 3rd sector. Meanwhile, Venom is on an out lap trying to prepare. And now Beard Boost is retired from the session, so our top 7 drivers have all retired. And now Ken's going to run wide. He doesn't invalidate the lap, interestingly enough. But he's not going to improve by very much. Only gains about 0.07 of a second. And now for PPR Venom, we're going to ride on board with Venom here for this lap to see what it's like for this AlphaTauri, 8th on the timesheets now, to run a full time at Monza. Not only was that a bloody flying lap, that's good enough for the top of the timesheet. So move PPR Venom to the very top in Q1 with 119.236. But meanwhile, back at the back of the field, XRL Pingu, he's beginning another flying lap, as is Javis John. Both these drivers on the outside looking in right now. Zola is now beginning his outlap to try and improve. This is XRL Fiend. He's crossed the line. 1:20.724 for his last lap. 1,000th of a second slower than his prior one. Joe Pelli, 13th on the timesheets for now. Safe for the moment, but depending on how the lower drivers might adjust their times, he may not stay safe. Smoothie's on an outlap. This is XRL Fiend on the 2nd straightaway right now. Zola is coming to the top of the track right now. Fiend is 0.2 of a second up right now. That would be enough to get him ahead of Smoothie and into Q2. Coming to the line, XRL Fiend, will he improve? Yes, he does. 13th, 120.520. Now the question is, what about his teammate? What about Smoothie24? Ken has retired from the session. He is not going to be able to improve from 14th, he feels. At the line, Smoothie. 120.674 still. Zola is coming to the line, but he has invalidated his prior lap. He needs to make it work and happen this time. Pengu has a problem. His fuel is getting low. He may not be able to set another lap. There's less than a minute left. This is Jabus Dawn. He's going to try and run to the line to set a better time. He's 11th on the time chase now. No, he's aborting. He's coming into the pits. For Pingu, though, it's going to be close. No, it's not going to be close. He's not going to be able to improve either. He was 5/10 up, but he was out of fuel. He was not going to be able to go any farther. Pingu will not advance to the next round. Now the question is, can Smoothie25 or Zola do anything to get to the next round? Smoothie has a purple sector 2. Weizuter has invalidated his lap, and he's not going to have time to cross the line. It shouldn't matter, though, but still of note. This is XRL low. He will improve to 9th on the time sheets. Joe Pelli at the line. What's he going to be able to do? 14th. And everyone has now set their times. Extremely early, also. Man, that took no time after the end of the session. But once again, for the Red Bull team, frustration as one of them make it and the other one does not. So here's your lap. Dedgar1988 gets disqualified right off the bat for disconnecting wheel in the middle of the track. XRL Ultimate crashes out on his outlap. Those two Ferraris do not set a single time, so a complete inverse of Ferrari's fortunes in X3. XRL Penguin in the Renault will not be able to advance, neither will XRL Zola in the Red Bull or KNH3 in the Alfa Romeo. XRL Fiend is the Red Bull that will advance this week. In 15th, Joe Pelli in the Haas will be 14th. Williams has Smoothie25 in 13th. Weizuter on the medium tire compounds comes home 12th at the end of Q1. Davis down in the Merc in 11th. Ryan Hurricane has 10th. And they're already gotten rid of it. Really, I can't go any farther up. Sorry, guys. So this is going to be where it's going to get interesting, because now tire strategy comes into play. And like we said so many times before, drivers may go out, set a respectable time on mediums, but then realize they may not have the pace to directly compete for a spot in Q3. So they may throw away their strategy just to get on softs to try and get into Q3. We've seen a lot of interesting stuff happen before in Q2 due to drivers getting really paranoid over what may or may not get them in the next race when it comes to tire compound choice. Much like what we saw in Q1 before everything went to glitch hell, one driver leaves and everyone immediately starts leaving, wanting to try and set times as soon as they can. Already over half of our 15 cars are out on the track. Of note though, two Haas's have not left, not Haas's, no they are Haas's. Haas's haven't left yet, but Joe Pelli's going to break that as he is now merging onto the circuit. This is Ty Gores. He was one of the first to retire in qualifying Sector 1. Might have to be a little bit more careful this time. is XRL Anderson, meanwhile. But at the front, it is Sasha Andre who will cross the line and begin his first flying lap. And assuming nothing happens to him, he will be the first driver to set a time here at Monza. Relatively nice on exit. Lost a little bit of time bumping over the curves, but relatively solid on the exit there of that first chicane as he now comes down into the second chicane here. 26.4 flat for Sasha at the end of Sector 1. Right, cutting the current corners and maximizing every little bit of pavement he can. Rarian steps out just a little bit at the top of the track. And again, fast and loose. That seems to be the ideal setup that he has on that car for now as he exits Sector 2, 53.496. This corner right here, the exit. Oh, and one of the McLarens has had an issue. That's Beard Boost. Something has gone horribly wrong on that car. He has come to almost a dead stop just off the racing line on that second straightaway. He's getting underway now. Sasha Andre, 120.464. He may have pulled over to let traffic go, but he definitely chose a awkward place to pull over if that was the reason. But Lowe is now at the top of the 120.382. Beard Boost 144.181, but again, him and XRL Anderson both pulled over to let other traffic through. Those times will naturally improve. Ryan Hurricane will go up to 125.795. So right now we're seeing a lot of drivers put up times, not ideal times by any means, but they are setting times in general. This is Joe Pelli as he is rounding the final corner right now. At the line, Joe Pelli will put down a time of 1:26.383. Still a lot of time that can come off of that. This is Wise Uter. He ran the entirety of Q1 on medium tire compounds. Now he's running Q2, or at least starting Q2 on the softs. 52.837 at the end of Sector 2 now. Nice and fluid as he comes onto the third straightaway here. Now that final quarter. And his time will be enough for 119.651. That's an incredible step up. That's going to blow the socks off of the competition for the moment. Uter feels very confident with that car for the moment. This is CJ Allen. And Allen goes right off the circuit, really having a rough time keeping that Alfa Romeo under proper control. Elvin Starfish has invalidated this lap. It was a pretty slow lap at that. He will have to go again and hope that he has the fuel to make it all the way around at full speed. Javis John is in the middle of an outlap. He is on track to be possibly the last driver to set a time in this field. That is Wise Uter, who has pulled off the circuit there. That way the track will be a little bit more clear for everyone else. He has almost no fuel in that car of note. So it's going to be a very, very slow and difficult trek around the circuit for Uter here. Smoothly 25 up to second with a 120.258. It was difficult for him to get into Q2, but now that he's in Q2, he's definitely putting on the results as XRLO, his teammate in the Williams, is 120.382. And Fiend has retired from the session. There has been an accident that for Fiend, and I'm trying to get a good viewpoint. And you can see right there the car twitched out before he was able to enter that third straightaway. He will not advance to the next session. Venom is on outlap. He also may be one of the last, if not the last person to set a time here. Beard Boost has set a time of a 144.181, but obviously that's a good 25 seconds off of the leader's time. He pulled over for a long period of time. We anticipate he will eventually be able to improve on that. There's no reason to think he couldn't. James John flying down that second straightaway. 53.809 at the end of that second sector. Alpha Starfish, meanwhile, has pulled into the pits. He'll have to change tires and refuel. The track a little bit more empty now than it was at the start of the session as James John rounding that final corner. It's not going to be a great time from him, but it's better than nothing at the line. 121.018. For now, that's good enough for 10th. But with Beard Boost, I think you can almost guarantee that James John will have to improve if he wants to make it into Q3. This is PPR Venom as he's rounding the final corner to begin his his first flying lap. Right now, there are only 3 cars out on the track. Venom, Beard Boost, and James John. John has actually invalidated this lap, and his fuel is low as well. So it's just Beard Boost and Venom. Right now, all the focus is on those 2 drivers. Starfish still has yet to set a time. Beard Boost 0.128 seconds up at the end of Sector 2, but he'll gain a lot in going into Sector 2, But here in Sector 2, he will gain a lot because he's not going to pull over, at least I don't imagine he's going to pull over, on the second straightaway. Full bore through here, and we'll get a true idea of what that McLaren can actually do. Your X2 champion, locking up the title last week, already 9 seconds up on his time, and there's still more that can probably come off. Venom behind him. Not close enough to get any draft though, as Beard Boost comes out Parabolica. And at the line, Beard Boost will actually set a time, a serious time. 120.209, that's good enough for second. And Venom goes to the top, 119.190. And now there's just one, Elfin Starfish and CJ Allen. Allen has set a time, but he needs to take a lot off. He needs to take off at least 5 seconds. Starfish has yet to set a time, period. And a lot of drivers are still on pit road, but haven't left yet to try and improve on their times. And for drivers like Ty Gores, Joe Pelly, and XRL Anderson, I would feel that you might want to get out there and consider going again. But of note, all those drivers are also on smooth tires, so I don't know if there's much they can do. Beard Boost and Ollie right now are the only drivers on the medium tire compounds to be in the top 10. CJ Allen has invalidated his lap now, so it's going to be another minute and a half before he can set a time. This is really not looking good for CJ Allen. Another driver's not looking good for James John. He has still yet to leave the pits. Same with Ryan Hurricane as well. That's Beard Boost coming into the pits. And now one of the Haas's, I believe that's Joe Pelly, who is exiting the pits as Venom, our current top of the line, not pole but top of the line car, is pulled in and retired from the session. Joe Pelly is now merging back onto the circuit, trying to see if there's a little bit more he can gain. Starfish and Allen have both invalidated these laps, and there's less than 4 minutes left in the session. Allen improves by 1.3 seconds, but it doesn't matter because, again, the lap's invalid. Starfish only 125.5 right now. Both these drivers desperately need to do something to improve. They're one of only 3 drivers on the track. The only other one, Joe Pelly, is way on the other end of the circuit. Oh, no, there's actually that's Ryan Hurricane who is up beginning an out lap now. And so is Ty Gores. And XRL Anderson is now beginning to come out. So drivers are now frantically trying to run out, burning another set of softs to try and see if they can preserve their position going into Q3 here. CJ Allen and Elephant Starfish are the two wild cards right now. Allen has a lot of time he can take off. Starfish needs to set a time period. Allen, 4.3 seconds up. But as it is, that wouldn't be enough to get him into Q3. He gets really sideways coming onto that back straightaway. I don't think it's going to happen. He's going to improve, but I don't think he's going to improve enough. This is Starfish. A little bit smoother for the moment. At the line, CJ Allen, he is going to improve, but will it be enough to put him into the top 10? He's aborting. He will abort his lap, and with only 2 and a third minutes left, I don't know if he's going to be able to get time to get out there and improve. Starfish puts down a time of 120.980 on the mediums. He's not going to have time to do it again, I don't think. He is. He's going to be out of fuel. Starfish is not going to advance to the next round. John has invalidated on his outlap. Not too much of a concern. This is Ryan Hurricane. He is 12th on the timesheets right now. He's running soft speeds already 1.6 seconds down. His focus right now needs to be to get around the track as fast as he can and make the next lap the best he possibly can. CJ Allen still in the pits. It's unlikely he's going to be able to do it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say he's not going to be able to set a better time. Here he comes. He's coming out, but with only 1 minute and 10 seconds left, I don't see any way he's going to make it around in time. Jabez John, he's 13th on the timesheets. He's beginning his flying lap. This is Ryan Hurricane. He has now entered the back straightaway. He's 3 seconds down, but again, his focus needs to be on this upcoming lap. He needs to perfect his exit from Parabolica. Coming across the line. This is it. This is where it all comes down to. XRL Anderson is on the back straightaway, is on that second back straightaway, coming into Parabolica right now. He is 10th, but all it takes is Ryan Hurricane or James John to put that good time down, and he will get knocked out. He needs to improve, and he needs to improve fast. He has improved, and what an improvement it was. 1.2 seconds off. He goes up to third, right behind Ty Gores. And this also means that everyone in the top 10 right now is running soft tire compounds. In fact, there's no way around it. Softs are preferred by almost the entire field. The only exceptions are Fiend and Starfish. Hurricane, he's invalidated his lap, so it's all going to come down to Jabez John. Will Jabez John knock out Sasha Andre? This is Sasha Andre coming down to the line. No, he won't get knocked out. Sasha Andre improves 119.410. So now Jabez John might have a chance of knocking out Ollie. Ollie is coming down also, but Jabez John will be there last. He's going to be one of the last ones, actually. So Ollie coming down to it. That's Beard Boost. Beard Boost is out on the track. He's looking to improve. He is 5/10 off his time. That could easily be enough to put him back in the top 5 in timesheets. But he's going to abort. This is XRL Anderson, but he's already given up his set at that time that he's needed to. Ollie coming down to the line. It's good enough for 6, and Hurricane has retired from the session now. So will Jabez John knock out XRL Low? That's the question that's on everyone's minds at the moment. This is the last car on track who needs to set a time. He's in Sector 3 right now. Anderson retires from the session. No need to stay on track. The only other 2 cars are on track are 2 cars who have already finished. At the line, Jabez John, he will set the final time of the qualifying Sector 2. Is the time enough to move him into the next round? It is! He's 10th! Jabez John is migrating into Q3 at the last possible minute. So here is your lineup. PPR Venom in the AlphaTauri, Ty Gores in the Merc, Sasha Andre in the Racing Point, Anderson in the McLaren, Weizuter in the AlphaTauri, Ollie in the Haas, Joe Pelli in the Haas, Smoothie in the Williams and James John in the Merc will all migrate in the Sauce. Beard Boost set his fastest time on the medium tire compound, so by default, I would say Beard Boost has a massive advantage over everyone else. He's going to be starting on medium tire compounds. He won't have to worry about starting on used Sauce. The drivers who will not advance XRL low on Sauce, and then Starfish, Hurricane Fiend, and Allen all committed to the medium tire strategy, but because of that, were not able to contend for Q3 positions at the end of it all. And oh, wow. No waste at all for Beard Boost and Anderson. Immediately, the two of them rushing to get out onto the circuit. And they're going to be joined very shortly by PPR Venom. So the AlphaTauri rushing to join the McLarens, as is Sasha Andre. So already 4 drivers beginning their outlaps very quickly here. Sasha for the moment. The interesting thing is going to be between Anderson and Beard Boost. Beard Boost is pretty much locked up. The championship is going to be your X2 title holder, but Anderson is still in a fight for second in the points, so there may be an effort to try, for Beard Boost at least, to try and help Anderson get the best results possible. Everyone's now out onto the track with Smoothie 25 beginning his exit from the pit lane. So everyone's going, assuming we don't have to worry too much about invalid lap times, we should start seeing flying laps sooner rather than later. This is going to be a driver to really watch Anderson. He's going to have the draft from his teammate Beard Boost ahead of him. Anderson keeping Beard Boost right behind him. Beard Boost has a purple Sector 1. As long as he can keep that thing legal, he'll be in a very good position. There aren't very many other drivers. Well, there are some drivers with teammates out there, but the situation between Beard Boost and Anderson is going to be very unique here. Both cars have the DRS open here on the second straight. Look at this pole. Anderson getting a massive DRS, well, not DRS, the draft pull from Beard Boost. Beard Boost is going to pull over, so Anderson can maximize the line through Parabolica. Don't run too wide at the line. Anderson's going to be the first to cross the line, and he's going to cross it with a monster time, I imagine, 119.399. And that's Sasha Andre, 118.932. Beard Boost goes ahead and jumps into the pits, so Sasha Andre, even with the help that Anderson was getting from Beard Boost, it's not enough. Andre has that thing locked in. Sasha Andre dropping down just a bit in power. Not power, in time. Ollie, Tigors, and Venom have all now set times. But Venom, he's got a lot to work on. He's got a lot to improve. There is about 8 minutes left in the session, though he definitely has the ability to make it happen. Uter and Beard Boost abandoned their first laps. Beard Boost, though, was pretty much spending that entire lap helping Anderson out. So I imagine once Beard Boost comes out, he'll come out flying like a bat out of... I don't have to say anymore. Davis John at the line is good enough for 120.890. That means that he's roughly about a second and a 700th out from his teammate Ty Gores, and now Smoothie 25 will jump ahead of them with a 120.254. So 8 drivers have now set times. Uter and Beard Boost have yet to come back onto the track to set new times. This is Joe Pelli, 132.230 for now, but it's not hard to expect that he will make a significant improvement this lap if he stays out. It says his fuel's low, but he's 10 seconds up. He may come in just to refuel, get new tires on, and then fly from there. And nope, he's going to stay out. So Joe Pelli coming to the line, 119.896, a significant improvement. But considering the position of his fuel, it's going to be a long time before he can attempt to set another lap. The top 4 have all jumped into the pits. They're not working on trying to improve at the moment. They will once they're out. For now, they're probably refueling, getting new tires on. This is Smoothie 25 as he is coming to the end of that 3rd straightaway, entering Parabolica. He is way down on this prior lap, though. I imagine he's going to go ahead and bin it into the pits. This is Joe Pelli. As we said, he's 5th. And Wise Uter is now the only driver out on the track in a position to try and improve on his time. And even then, he's on an out lap. So we're going to have a few laps of just nothing. We're going to go ahead and ride on board with Wise Uter for a full lap so you can hear what his next flying lap is going to be like here at Monza. He's invalidated his lap. This is Beard Boost as he has regained an out lap of his own now. As is Uter's teammate, I said partner, PPR Venom. Both Venom and Beard Boost trying to improve massively. For Uter and Beard Boost, they need to make some massive improvements because there's 4 minutes left in the session and neither of them have set times yet. Uter's into the pits. Beard Boost still out there on an out lap. This is Venom. He's going to come across the line here and begin his next flying lap. We'll ride on board with him now. Davis Don is now out on the circuit and an out lap for himself, as well as Sasha Andre trying to improve late in the session. There you are. Venom sets a time good enough for 4th on the current timesheets. But now the question is Beard Boost. He's going to be the next one across the line with just a little bit. He'll cross it with less than 2.5 minutes left, so he would have time to go another lap if he so chose. Coming down to it, he's got the DRS open. Beard Boost good enough for 2nd. 119.011, but still not enough to beat Sasha Andre. At least, not yet. This is Wise Uter. Still has yet to set a time. He's on his outlap right now, as is Anderson, as is Ollie, as is Tigers, as is Gilpelli. Smoothie 25 and Javis John both have yet to come out of the pits. But as I say that, Smoothie 25 is coming out now. PPR Venom has retired from the session. PPR Venom has been caught up in an accident. Our 5th place qualifier has been caught up in an accident. Beard Boost is out of fuel. Here comes Sasha Andre now. And with Beard Boost out of fuel, he's not going to have enough time to make it around. This means that Sasha Andre has a serious chance of getting the pole. For Anderson, he's 119.399 that last lap, so he improved, but it's not enough to get him ahead of Beard Boost. Not yet, at least. This is Wise Uter. He has yet to set a time still. He's going into that 2nd chicane. Smoothie is on an outlap. Will he be able to make it to the start-finish line in time to start one last flyer? This is Joe Pelly. He is on what will be his last lap, as is Ty Gores. Sasha Andre coming across the line. He does not improve his time. And he will not have, this is it. This is Sasha's last chance at a lap. Beard Boost comes into the pits. This is Smoothie 25. He's on an outlap. It looks like he's going to make it around, so he'll have one chance at a flyer lap. Wise Uter is in a slightly different scenario. He may be in a spot where if he can make this lap in time, he'll have a chance for one more lap, assuming he has the fuel in the car. He runs wide in Parabolica. Not an ideal line, but he might make something happen. He will finally set a time, though. 123.177. He needs to take a lot of time off if he wants to be competitive. He's almost 2.5 seconds off of James John alone. Sasha Andre already 2/10 up this lap. He might be able to make that pole go even faster. Beard Boost is not going to be a factor. It's going to be Sasha Andre versus everyone else. That says that he's out on the borderline edge of his fuel coming into Parabolica. He doesn't care. He's going to go full bore, I imagine. Coming to the line, Sasha Andre, will he improve? Does he improve? 118.889. Ty Gores has invalidated his lap. XRL Anderson has also invalidated his lap. Joe Pelly, his fuel is low. He is not going to be able to improve. Smoothie 25 is coming down, but he's 4/10 down on his time. It's not likely he's going to improve. Wise Uter has invalidated his time as well. This means that the lineup you see right now is the lineup you're going to get, except I imagine Venom's going to drop to 10th because obviously he crashed out. So with that in mind, our event, so this is over. Qualifier Q3 for X2 has come to an end. This is Gil Pelly, as we said. He's not going to be able to do it, and this is Ty Gores. Again, invalid lap, will not be able to improve. So everyone has set their time, and in the end, it's Sasha Andre, the only one of only 2 drivers to break the 118 barrier with a 118.889, despite running out of fuel at the very end of the lap. An outstanding move, and then also for the Haas of XRL Ollie, outstanding, also being able to break that barrier and get all the way to 2nd. And for Beard Boost and XRL Anderson, the McLarens looking a little bit, not necessarily bad, but let's just say under the weather, considering we're used to Beard Boost taking pole without too much of an issue. And this is your final lineup. Wise Uter in the AlphaTauri 10th, Jabez John in the Mercedes 9th, Smoothie 25 in the Williams 8th, Venom in the AlphaTauri 7th, Joe Pelly in the Haas 6th, XRL Anderson in the McLaren 5th, Ty Gores in the Mercedes 4th, Beard Boost in the McLaren 3rd, Ollie in the Haas 2nd, and Sasha Andre in the Racing Point 1st. Of note, all these drivers will be required to start on used soft, with the exception of Beard Boost, Beard Boost will be starting on medium tire compounds. Also, I thought they would kick Venom down to 10th, but I guess I was wrong. So, now we're going to do a little bit of a standby until we get the race itself underway. We'll be waiting about 5 to 7 minutes before we get underway here at Monza. This XRL in general has had a crazy time at Monza. When they did the dev race here a few weeks ago, only 10 drivers finished, partially because of the game glitching out, connectivity issues, instance on restarts. The race, really, we didn't know what was going to happen until the last lap and the last corners for the X3 race. Absolute chaos, including a massive restart crash, 3 different full safety cars, and then 2 virtual safety cars. And yet, despite that, it was still one of the quickest races we've ever seen in X2 in terms of time taken up. Then we had here, in qualifying alone, we've had 2 drivers get knocked out in quality for X2 from crash damage alone. So, this will be very interesting by every means. But anyways, go ahead, take a little bit of a break, get some water, get some popcorn, make sure you're ready for the final XRL event at Monza this weekend. Standing by right now, waiting to get underway for the event. Should only take a few more minutes and then we can get underway for our X2 race here at Monza. Standing by here at Monza before we get underway here for the X2 race here. Qualifying has come to an end, and interestingly enough, Beard Booster has been the strongest driver all season long, has pretty much already locked up the title, loses out on the front row altogether, ends up being Sasha Andre who takes the pole here. And here we go. Lights are coming on. As lights out, and away we go here at Monza. And already the field very much organized at the front, but all over the place in the back here. CJ Allen, who's trying to make it 3 wide already, as Beard Boost has already jumped up into the second position. But look at this gridlock. There's already pieces and parts of wings coming off of cars. But everyone's going to make it through without serious issue at the start. But Ryan Hurricane is the exception. Hurricane is going to drop all the way down to 18th. At the front, though, it's Sasha Andre trying to stay ahead of Beard Boost as Ollie and Anderson are going neck and neck for that final podium spot. Tigor. Oh, and that's Anderson. Anderson got into the dirt, and now he's going to lose a truckload of position going down the second straightaway. He's trying to hold on to 6th, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Yes, he is going to be able to do it because right ahead of him, there's a battle between Tigors and Venom. Those two cars are going to punch a big enough hole in the air that he's not going to fall off the back of them, at least not too easily. Tigor is looking to the inside of Venom. Will he make the move? No, he will not make the move, but farther up, Ollie has caught Beard Boost for the second spot. He's right underneath Beard Boost's rear wing. What is that Haas going to do? He's looking to the outside. Neck and neck for the second position across the line. And the Haas is now sliding in front of Beard Boost without too much of a fight from Beard Boost. Beard Boost knows he has to just play the long game. He's got the medium tire compounds. As long as he doesn't burn them off, he will be in a very good position relative to everyone else. Tigor is still ahead of PPR Venom, but Venom is right there ready to make something happen. Anderson trying to stay close enough that he can take advantage of a door that may open up. Weizuder and Del Pelle making a little bit of contact back there for points pay positions further down the order. Del Pelle now trying to hold off the Merc of Javis Don, who is being pressured by Elfin Starfish, who is in the 10th position right now. Oh! And now Joe Pelli makes contact with James John, goes off track, and he's going to drop all the way back to his 13th position. They're still all over the place here in the back of the field, neck and neck, side by side, once more. Dedger making a move. Dedger is bringing that Ferrari slowly and steadily up through the field after getting DQ'd in Q1. He's already up to the 14th position. Oh, and that's Hurricane! Hurricane has gone around and damaged that car significantly on the 3rd straightaway. There is significant damage to the front wing. There's no way around it. He's going to have no choice but to pit to repair the damage. Ollie has gotten by Beard Boost, and now Ollie is trying to run down Sasha Andre for the top spot. This is Dedger. He's up to 14th, watching Smoothie and Ken go at for the 12th positions ahead of him. He's trying to get the maximum amount of aerodynamic draft from them, and Ken goes off circuit. He makes contact with Smoothie, and he's going to drop all the way to 15th, 16th. He's probably going to drop to the back of the field, and now Venom has a time penalty for track violations. But an absolute nightmare for Ken, who is running in a relatively solid position, now dropping off, and this means that Dedger inherits the 13th spot. Pin Pingu has had something happen to him now. Pingu has crashed the car, and that's going to be a safety car, a full-on safety car, because his machine is completely blocking the track on the exit of the corner. We should see it from Ultimate as he rounds the corner. Well, he's not blocking the track, but he's right there just off the racing line. So one of the Renaults already knocked out of the event. And this is not what Sasha Andre wanted to see, because this drags the entire field up behind him, and Beard Boost will be right there. The gap that Andre was opening up over Beard Boost and Ollie, now gone. Dedgar now has a penalty for a collision with Fiend. But they're both in the pits. In fact, there are a bunch of drivers in the back of the field jumping into the pits and swapping onto hard tires. Anderson, Allen, Fiend, all jumping onto hard tire compounds. Dedgar, he was working his way up to the field relatively quickly. He has gone ahead and decided to jump onto the mediums. If he can make the mediums last 23 laps, that would be a very interesting decision. But he may also be betting on more yellows that he could jump onto softs late in the race for. And for Ryan Hurricane, this is a great news for him. He will have a chance to catch back up to the back of the field. Hurricane, roughly about half a lap down, so I imagine if everything works out fine and well, he may be able to catch up to the back of the field by the end of the circuit, and we could go green relatively shortly here. But of note, Fiend and Dedgar are the two drivers, only two drivers, well, three drivers, Venom also, that have penalties now. And once again, the two Ferraris, Dedgar and Ultimate, have found each other, and they're right behind the Ferrari engine car of CJ Allen. Ultimate of note went ahead and jumped onto soft tire compounds. So Ultimate will have a few laps where he'll be flying through the field. Not for a long period of time, but it will be for a period of time. And yeah, we're anticipating that they will go green next lap, so they'll go green on lap 6. This is Hurricane. It's about 12 seconds off the back of the field right now. Director real quickly, just showing the penalties, if I can. 3-second time penalty for PPR Venom due to track limit warnings. Then there's also going to be the 5-second time penalties between Dedgar and XRL Fiend for an incident that happened between the two of them as they went under the yellow flag. But other than that, those are the only 3 penalties we have on the circuit right now. That obviously could change as we go on. But the entire field is now caught up and is bunched up, and we should be going green coming on to lap 6. And now the big thing is Ollie has a good chance to fight with Sasha for the lead if he gets a good run. And he can brain that Haas right up next to the racing point. The highest Honda in the field right now is PPR Venom, Honda badged engine. He's 5th on the timesheets at the moment. Everyone trying to keep tires nice and warm. Safety car in this lap, it's official, so we will be going green here. And this will be the chance for Ollie, and to an extent Beard Boost and Tigors also, to try and make something happen. Sasha started on the poles, led the first 5 laps of the race, but will he lead beyond that is the question. You see the pace car pulling off in the far distance. 19 cars all lined up for what could be a very, very interesting restart here at Monza. There's still over 20 laps to go as well. They'll go green with 22 laps to go. Green is out, and Sasha got a much, much better run than Ollie did. In fact, Ollie now has Beard Boost and Ty Gores all over him. Ollie's trying to defend the inside. Beard Boost is fine with that for now. He's going to poke his nose out just to get some fresh air. He's looking at the outside. They'll be neck and neck. Will they make contact? They do make contact, and Beard Boost is going to get by Ollie. Now Ollie has to fight with Ty Gores going down the line. Tigor's trapped on the outside in the Mercedes. He's going to fall back in line behind the Ferrari-powered Haas, and that means Venom will have a little bit of draft and might be able to close in. Tigor is looking to the outside. There's no room. In fact, he's going to go off, and he's going to almost make contact with Venom. And something has happened to Zola. Zola has gone off and has gone off the circuit. He will merge back on, but he is going to drop to the very back of the field. And now, Ollie has to try and run down Beard Boost again. He's right there behind Beard Boost as they exit Sector 2 and enter Sector 3. He has the soft tires, but those softs will only be at their prime operating temperature for a short period of time. Beard Boost, on the other hand, is going to have a lot more time on those mediums. Everything, again, is falling into Beard Boost's hands. That's how he's won the championship, by putting himself in a position so when things go AWOL and go screwy, he can capitalize. But for the moment, Ollie is still right there underneath Beard Boost, and he might be able to make a move. He's going to try. He's looking to the inside, going into turn number 1. They make contact. There's side-by-side contact once more, but Beard Boost is going to hold off the Haas. And this has brought Venom right up to the back of Ollie, but Ollie's looking to the outside once more. They're going to be neck and neck as they come down into turn number 3 now. Ollie's got the car ahead, and he's going to move back into second. And now the question is, what will Beard Boost be able to do? Will he fight back, or is he going to fall into the clutches of Venom? While this is happening, Sasha Andre has opened up a 2 3/4 second lead over second place. Also note, Starfish on 3 entire compounds is the only other driver along with Zola who have started on those and have not pitted yet. Starfish is all the way up to 7th position, but he has a time penalty he will have to serve. This is about the time that you start seeing DRS trains. This is CJ Allen looking to the inside. CJ Allen pulling off Davis Dunn, who's looking to his inside. There you are, DRS has been enabled. So this is going to get really interesting very quickly, folks. Davis Dunn has fallen behind Anderson now, so Anderson trying to make his way back up to the field. Very, very poor start. And now he's in a position where he might earn no points. He needs to start changing things. Anderson, 3-second time penalty, multiple track violations. John starting to drop to the field, as is Smoothie, as those soft tires are beginning to lose their ability. They can still run, but they're not nearly as fast as they were at the start of the race. And for Ultimate, he's gotten one of the Ferraris, his own, up into the top 10. He's fighting with Elf and Starfish for the 8th position right now. He's got DRS open. They both have DRS open on each other. It's a DRS drag race down the second straightaway, but it's going to be Starfish who's going to be ahead of it. Venom, another time penalty for track violations. This is it, Dedgar and Ken in a battle. It's Ferrari versus Alfa Romeo, and it's Ken in the Alfa Romeo who will move ahead of the Ferrari team. But something has happened to Venom. Venom's car is completely destroyed, and now Dedgar is involved in an incident, and that's Tigor's? Yeah, that's Tigor's who went around. So avoiding the damage and destroyed car of Venom, Tigor's ended up making contact with Ken, and Tigor's got turned all the way around, and we now have a virtual safety car. CJ Allen now has a penalty for ignoring yellow flags as well. It has a virtual safety car, so it's not going to hurt Sasha Andre's ability too much. But what will hurt is Ollie and Beard Boost's chance to try and make up. And now Beard Boost has a drive-through penalty he has to serve for speeding under the virtual safety car. So Beard Boost's chance at winning the race may have just slipped away from him because he's going to have to do a mandatory drive-through. And now there's a yellow flag because several drivers, Anderson is now fighting with Dedgar here, and Dedgar is going to almost get into the dirt now. There's damage on that front wing of that Ferrari. Dedger missing a significant chunk. It's about 40% of the mass gone off that car. Ty Gores now has a time penalty. And Dedger is going to have no choice. He's going to have to pit to repair that wing. Here comes Ryan Hurricane. He's in 15th. Lucky for him, he has no time penalties, at least not yet. This is Zola and Fiend. They found each other again, but they're fighting each other at the back end of the field. Beard Boost ahead of Ollie, as Ollie is going ahead and serving the drive-through penalty of his own, I believe, now. And indeed, Ollie serving a drive-through penalty, as will Beard Boost. I imagine at least he will serve his drive-through penalty on the next lap. And that means that it will be Wise Uter who will end up inheriting the second spot over XRL Low, and Starfish will be in a very good position because he'll be fourth with medium tire compounds. And now it's saying that Pink Boot has left the section. Granted, he DNF'd very early. Javis John now has a time penalty, so we're very quickly entering a scenario where this race may end up being decided not only by strategy, but by just minimizing track cutting violations and minimizing mistakes under the safety car. Anderson dropping through the order now, as is Ty Gores. Ty Gores has actually gone around again. That's twice now as he's gone around sideways, going through the turn 1 chicane. Dedger's gone ahead and jumped onto the medium tire compounds. He will run those to the end of the race. This is Javis John. He's behind Ken. And Beard Boost is coming in now. He is making his drive-through penalty. Also of note, CJ Allen, he's 5th on the hard tire compounds, and he can run those to the end. If he stays within a reasonable gap of Sasha Andre, Allen might end up inheriting the race lead by virtue of jumping onto the hards. But this is Javis John trying to make something happen with Ken here. And this is a side-by-side battle between Ollie. Fiend has lost out, and now Beard Boost is going to try and overtake him. That won't be a try. Beard Boost will overtake him, but Beard Boost, he's now out of the points pay positions. He doesn't really have anything to lose. He's locked up the championship, and his team is pretty much locked up the manufacturer's championship as well, but still, it is something of significance. Hurricane back into the points pay position. He's 9th. He's got Joe Pelly behind him on hards. So Hurricane will probably have to pit sooner rather than later. Beard Boost trying to close in on XRL Ollie ahead of him. Of course, one very serious question we'll have to ask is, when will the top 3, all ranked softs, when will the top 3 go ahead and make their first pit? CJ Allen and Elfin Starfish are now side by side for the 4th and 5th position. They've got Ultimate right there behind them. Ultimate looking at the outside. They're going to be 3 wide down the straightaway. Allen doesn't want any part of it. He pulls out, but Starfish and Ultimate are still neck and neck. They're going to be neck and neck as they go into the first corner. Who's it going to be? They make contact once, twice, 3 times, power down, and the Renault did not get the power down quite as well as he wants, but he still has that preferred inside lane of choice. It doesn't matter. Move Ultimate up into the 4th. Ferraris are beginning to perform really well here at Monza, but now we've got CJ Allen. They're going to be 3 wide again. No, they're not. CJ Allen is going to pull out at the last minute, but now CJ Allen and Elfin Starfish are going neck and neck for that 5th and 6th position because they both believe they're faster than Ultimate. Zola is now going to start dropping down the order. He has made a little bit of a mistake, has dropped him down to 12th out of the points main position. So move Beard Boost up to 11th as he is continuing to put pressure on XRL Ollie. It's not even pressure anymore. Beard Boost just walks by Ollie like he wasn't even there. Christ. I mean, granted, Ollie's tires are soft and they're definitely losing speed at this point. And speaking of soft losing speed at this point, Sasha Andre and Wise Uter are aware of that, as is XRL Low. This means that will be Ultimate who will inherit the lead. But he's going to have to pin a few laps anyway for tires as well. That means that CJ Allen will eventually take the lead himself. A little bit of a lockup from Allen there. And of note, Beard Boost is actually going to come out way ahead of Sasha Andre. Christ! So Beard Boost leaves Sasha Andre in the dust. Beard Boost is on his own separate zip code right now. But the thing with Beard Boost is that he has to take another pit stop, because when he came in the pit road earlier, it was to serve a drive-through penalty. So Beard Boost will still eventually end up behind Sasha Andre, I imagine. Ollie working on Anderson. Anderson is falling back out of the points-paying positions. This is Smoothie, 25, trying to make something happen to Ollie ahead of him. Also of note, Ryan Hurricane, who is currently 5th, he's the highest driver on the field right now who has no time penalties. Elfin Starfish, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And that's one of the... Oh, and that was Ken, and Ken comes right across the track. Here comes Joe Pelly. Pelly is going to have a huge hunk of speed because Hurricane had to swerve to avoid Allen. Ty Gores now has a penalty for track violations, but that means Joe Pelly move him up in the 4th. And no, and that's Hurricane, and Hurricane has gone sideways there in Parabolica. He'll pull off the track. He will not be a hindrance to the other drivers, but that's going to be controversial to say the least. Move Sasha Andre up to 8th. Now Joe Pelly is falling behind Beard Boost. Beard Boost is already up in the 3rd position. There is nothing stopping this man right now. Except for, you know, the fact that he's going to make another pit stop when everyone else doesn't. But Beard Boost is absolutely putting on a clinic, and if he's going to have about 7 seconds worth of clean track ahead of him on the medium tires, if he can make those work, he can put down some fast laps, he'll be in a great position. He can throw on the softs when he does pit and just go full bore, brrr, to the end. Ryan Hurricane's going ahead and pitting to swap out those softs, which are, I would almost guarantee you, scuffed at this point. Just a little bit farther back, Sasha Andre is the meat in a Red Bull sandwich. Zola ahead of him, feeding behind him. He's trying to close in on Zola. Not the ideal line through there, but he's still within drafting range of Zola for the moment. Meanwhile, this is Ken. Ken is back in the 5th position now. And it was Ken who had went off. It was not Allen, it was Ken. I do apologize for that miscommunication earlier. But Ken trying to make something happen to Joe Pelly. The thing is, Joe Pelly has no time penalties. Ken does, so even when he overtakes him, he's going to have to open up a gap to actually be ahead of him. Neck and neck. And without too much of a fight from Joe Pelly, Ken is going to get by that Haas machine. Now, of note, Elfin Starfish, he's on the medium tire compounds, but he already has 14 laps on them. He's going to have to come in and pit at some point. For CJ Allen, he has 10 laps on his hards. Allen, if there's no full course yellow mandatory safety car, he's basically going to win this race by virtue of already making his stop and not having to worry about it again. The gap he's going to have, because Starfish is going to have to pit, Beard Boost is going to have to pit. Ken may not have to pit, but the gap between CJ Allen and Ken is going to be a good 12 seconds. And even then, it's going to be iffy for Ken. I personally think he'll probably have to pit, because that would be looking at 22 laps on the mediums. I think you could make that, but I don't think you could make that and be fast. Then the next closest person is going to be Joe Pelly, who's on hards as well. Joe Pelly is 13 seconds off of CJ Allen. And with nobody around Allen to encourage him to make a mistake, I don't imagine Allen is going to end up adding any more time. I don't think we're going to be seeing him losing a 13-second gap over Joe Pelly. Then you have Sasha Andre, who is currently in 6th position. He is on the mediums. He will probably run this medium tire set to the very end of the race. Everyone running mediums or hards at this point in the event as well. Beard Boost, as we said earlier though, he will eventually jump onto the soft. Ultimate, 121.879 Scuderia Ferrari. That's the fastest time we have thus far in the session. But as I was saying, Beard Boost will eventually come in, and when he does, he'll throw on the softs and will be flying, I imagine. Thing is, he's going to lose a lot of time when he does go ahead and pit. I think Beard Boost is guaranteed to exit here with points, just not the race win. I think the race win is absolutely slipped out of his ability. Meanwhile, this is Lowe and Fiend. These two having a little bit of a scuffle for the 9th and 10th position. Points paying spots as well. Low, he's on fresher mediums. Fiend is on worn hards. But Fiend can last those hards to the end of the race more than likely. Low will be in the same position with his mediums, but they'll be falling off a little bit in ability at the end. And that is, who is that? That's Ken. And Ken has gone off the circuit there. And he's going to fall out of the points pain position, move Ultimate back into the points pain spots. Fiend and Low, neck and neck, going into the Parabolica. They make a little bit of contact, and it forces the Williams a little bit wide. Fiend, will he have DRS? I believe he will. Yes, he does. Fiend has DRS on Low. Starfish, Beard Boost, Zola, all going ahead and making their stop. Fiend had the DRS on Low, but he wasn't able to make anything of it, at least not yet. The thing is, Low has the medium tire compounds, Fiend does not. So Fiend, he's guaranteed to stay on the track for this race, but so is Low. Now the question is, Joe Pelli and Sasha Andre. Sasha, 3 laps on his mediums, Joe Pelli 13 laps on hards. Sasha might be able to fight for second here. And if we have a safety car, maybe even be able to fight for the win against worn hard tires from CJ Allen. Anderson, 3-second time penalty for multiple track violations now. And like I said earlier, Elfin Starfish also went onto the softs, but Beard Boost, he's on the softs and he's already in 12th, working on Ollie to try and get for the 11th position here. Not much work really needing to be done. He's got the DRS assisted pass. Won't be too much of a fight. Ollie's trying to make it a fight, but Beard Boost does not care. They're going to make contact. Boy, did they make contact, but both drivers kept it straight, kept it good. Beard Boost in the 11th position. The next driver he'll have to pass will be his teammate Anderson. Anderson on moderately worn medium tire compounds. This is Starfish, who's working on James John for the 8th position. Starfish has sauce, and he's got DRS, I imagine, on the straight. There's nothing James John can do to fight back, so move Starfish up into 8th. Ultimate has gotten by Fiend, but now Fiend is going to be within DRS striking zone of Ultimate once they get onto the 2nd straightaway. The gap between CJ Allen and Sasha Andre has opened to 15.5 seconds. Andre got by Joe Pelli without issue, but there's no way I see Andre closing in on CJ Allen before this race ends. There's about 9 laps to go. I see no way that Andre is going to be able to close in on CJ Allen. The only thing Andre can do is hope that Allen ends up making a bunch of mistakes and getting a lot of extra penalties. Shame for Sasha Andre. He was in position to win. He started on the pole, led a bunch of laps early, but it's all going to just drop away from him. Beard Boost making a Lewis Hamilton-esque, or George Russell-esque, I guess you could say, charge up to the field. He's up to 10th already. Next car in the sights is going to be James John for the 9th position. There's about 3.6 seconds between them, but I imagine that gap is going to vanish and vanish fast. Fiend is jumping into the pits. He is not going to make it any farther on the hards, he feels. He's going to probably jump on, throw on the soft tire compounds for the end of the race. Oh, he's serving a penalty as well. So that's going to hurt him even farther. It's looking very likely that the Red Bulls will not make any points here today. But Fiend now out of the pits, back onto the track, and the good news for him, at least, that will reduce the amount of penalties he'll have to serve near the end. Also note, Smoothie25, he's 14th, but he has no penalties right now. He is one of only 4 cars who do not, along with Beard Boost, Joe Pelli, and Sasha Andre. Not points, but it's still better than nothing. Sasha Andre now has a significant time penalty. As I'm saying that, he's pushing so hard to try and get to CJ Allen, but he's lost the one thing he had over Allen. And this also means that Joe Pelli can, if he just stays within Sasha Andre's sights, he may have a chance of picking second back up. Beard Boost already has cut that gap between himself and James Dawn down to about 1.9 seconds. He is closing fast on that Mercedes. Can't see him right now, but you're going to see him real shortly here. And now Joe Pelli is actually going to lose the position of Wise Uter through the first corner. Wise Uter having a relatively solid run. The mediums, I'm starting to wonder if maybe the hards fall off a little faster than we're anticipating. And if that's the case, there may still be not a lot, but a little bit of potential hope for Sasha Andre. It is still a 14.7 second gap between first and second. But Joe Pelli, still no penalties right now. He may still be able to take home a third or even a second if he just stays within the grasp of Wise Uter. Weird boost now within 1.3 seconds of Javis Dawn. 8 laps to go here. Weird boost, honestly, I could see him getting as high up as maybe 7th before this race is over. Javis Dawn makes a little bit of a step out ahead of him. The gap is closing, and it's closing fast. And this is without, oh no, Beard Boost does have DRS. Okay, so Beard Boost is closing fast with DRS, obviously. He won't have DRS here in the third straightaway. But he's going to have to draft, and he will be in position to make a move going into Parabolica. And even if he chooses not to make a move going into Parabolica, he'll have DRS when they enter the front stretch. And that will work very well for Beard Boost, not only getting by Javis Dawn, but blowing by him and setting his sights on Elfin Starfish. There's your DRS opening. Dawn, nothing that he can do to fight that Deadgird now as a time penalty. Pelli is now falling under threat from Ultimate and Low. I think those hards are not agreeing with that Haas, and he's just trying desperately to hold on. It's not working out for him. Ultimate right there trying to make something happen. He looks to the inside, thinks better of it through this corner because he knows he'll have DRS on the next straightaway. And he won't be the only one. Low is likely going to have DRS as well, I imagine. Yeah, Low and Ultimate both have DRS on Joe Pelli. So Ultimate is going to move by Joe Pelli without issue. So Ferrari in the high points paying positions once again here. Joe Pelli, despite not having any penalties, looks like it's not really going to help him because he's just ungodly slow on these worn hard tire compounds. As opposed to CJ Allen, yeah, his tires are worn about the same amount, the same compound as well, but he's not losing significant amounts of time to Sasha Andre. And even if he started losing significant amounts of time, he's 14.4 seconds up from him. I think Allen has this race won, assuming there's not a safety car. And we're getting to the point in the race where I imagine they're not going to throw a safety car yellow anyway. Low now looking at the outside of Joe Pelli. You can really see how that Haas is struggling to put the power down coming out of that turn 1 chicane. Coming into the second chicane now. Low gonna hold back, yes, for the moment. He looks to the inside of Joe Pelli, thinks better of it, but really is showing how bad Joe Pelli's time is. Low will be close enough. He'll get DRS on Joe on this straightaway, and it should be a relatively simple overtake here. There's the DRS open. He's gonna make it a little bit late, but all he needs to do is just hold the inside line. And by being smart, he will have the position. Ultimate 3-second time penalty, and they're both around! And that's Joe Pelli and Low, and both of them are going to spin out here! And that's a yellow flag in Sector 3, but not a yellow flag over the entire race. Low is already gaining away, but Joe Pelli, he's going to drop so far back. He's dropped out of the points positions. He's all the way down to 13th now. Well, when I said I imagined Beard Boost being able to fight all the way up to 5th or 6th, I didn't imagine he'd get up there due to the guys ahead of him spinning out. But Beard Boost is now out there, and Smoothie, 25, and Joe Pelli have no penalties, but they're not in points pay position. That means that Beard Boost is really the only person who might, keyword being might be able to gain points based off of not having penalties. The gap between first and second closing just a little bit more down to 14.2 seconds, but with 5 laps to go, honestly, Allen could lose at a rate of 2 seconds a lap, 2.5 seconds a lap even, and would still easily come home to the win. Joe Pelli coming into the pits to repair damage to the front wing there. Beard Boost with a miracle run up to the field. Also, Ultimate, he's 4th right now. This is going to look very, very good for him in relation to his team. His teammate Dedgar, not so good, but Ultimate going to bring home a respectable chunk of points for Ferrari. It's been a respectable day for Ferrari. They win X3, and it looks like they're going to take home a good run of points here in X2 as well. Oh, and Zola! Something has happened to Zola there. Zola has gone around in the same area we saw earlier. Joe Pelly go around with low. Now Zola has dropped out of the event. Now move Anderson back into the points paying position, only by 1 though. Ty Gores, he can see Anderson ahead of him, and Anderson has Ollie and Lowe ahead of him. So these four are all gradually closing in on each other, but the problem is Anderson and Ty Gores both have forward tires than the two ahead of them. Also of note, Beard Boost now has 6 laps on his tires. I imagine his tires are going to kind of fall off the cliff right on the very last 2 laps, but he has about 5 and some change seconds ahead of Davis Kahn. It will not be an issue for him. Same thing with Starfish. Starfish has about 4 and some change over Beard Boost. The biggest thing is, unless Starfish loses a bunch of time relative to Beard Boost, I think Starfish at most might lose 1 position of Beard Boost if he falls off. And there's a safety car! And CJ Allen has had no choice. He has to jump in and throw on softs, but he has to serve a penalty, so he was going to lose a bunch of positions. Sasha Andre is now in the top spot, but here's the thing. Sasha Andre has penalty. Wise Uter has penalty. Ultimate has penalty. CJ Allen is still on the pits. Starfish, where's he going to come out in relation? Here's the thing. We're going to end under yellow. I don't think we're going to take the green in time. We're going to probably end this race under the yellow flag. Ty Gore's 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. I think this race is going to end under the yellow flag. The field is so spread out. I see no way for everyone to gather up in a lap and a half and be able to go green. And if we go green, we'll only have a 1-lap shootout. And the top 3 drivers all are on worn mediums. CJ Allen in 4th has softs. Elfin Starfish in 5th has softs, but there are worn softs. Beard Boost is in 6th. He has softs, but again, worn softs. So even if we have a shootout, it's only going to be for 1 lap. Oh my God. This is not what I expected to see happen, and this is not what CJ Allen wanted to have happen either. Our last place driver, Ryan Hurricane. Oh, the safety car is going to come in this lap, so they don't care about the lap traffic. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout. So CJ Allen will have 2 laps to try and get by 3 cars on worn, harder tires than his own. They don't care about the lap traffic. They're going to go this lap irregardless. This is going to get really nuts. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So it'll be a mandatory 2-lap shootout. And for XRL Fiend, it's going to be really frustrating. I don't think he's going to Fiend will barely catch the back of the field in time. So we will have the top 10 all basically on top of each other fighting for points paying positions. And if any of them make a mistake, Anderson will obviously end up capitalizing. So this is it. Right on board CJ Allen as they're coming to the green flag here. And the top 3 are gone. Boy, are they gone. Ultimate trying to make something happen to Uter. Uter wants to make something happen to Sasha Andre. Sasha Andre trying to retake what was going to be a rightful win for him. Ultimate fighting with Uter already going into the chicane. Allen is right there. Allen wants to make something happen. He's going to the outside of Uter. What is Uter going to do? They make contact going into turn 2 here. Uter's ahead. Uter's got the draft ups of Ultimate for the moment. They make contact again. There's no room. What's Allen going to do? Allen's going to play it kind of safe and cautious, and Uter pushes him off the circuit. And now Starfish goes ahead. Here's Beard Boost. Beard Boost is now up in 5th, and CJ Allen has dropped to 6th position. Allen, who had this race locked up through perfect strategy, now has the race taken away from him from a late race yellow and contact. And now the question is, can Ultimate do anything to Sasha Andre before this race is over? He's within 0.7 of a second of our leader. Elfin Starfish is right there behind Uter as well. This could be the battle for the win here. Ken, another 3-second time penalty as CJ Allen has now dropped all the way to 9th position. Ultimate is right there behind Sasha. He's going to have the DRS open, I imagine. No DRS. DRS has not been activated. So Ultimate, if he's going to make this move, he is going to have to make it on pure ability. No DRS. It says he's looking to the outside. He got by Uter in this fashion. Will he be able to get by Sasha Andre? Yes, he will. The Ferrari takes the lead on the last lap. And there's 3 wide back there. Elfin, Starfish, and Wise Uter all over the place. There's Beard Boost as well. But Starfish is in position to take home a podium. Sasha Andre and Ultimate neck and neck for the top spot. Yellow flags out behind them. For instance, Anderson has wrecked out of the session. But this is a fight for a lead, and this is where everything's going to come down to. Andre is right behind Ultimate. They're coming onto the second straightaway. Ultimate's trying to open up a gap. We may see 2 Ferrari victories here today from a team that significantly has not had good results in X2 or X3. Yellow flags again in Sector 2. Sasha Andre dropping off the back of Ultimate. He's 7/10 off. He's going to have to make something happen going into the Parabolica. Otherwise, it's going to be a win from Ultimate. It could be 2 Ferrari wins today. Elfin Starfish is going to take home the other podium spot. But coming to the line, unless Sasha Andre has fewer penalties than Ultimate, it's going to be Ferrari crossing the line first. And Sasha Andre is going to end up winning by virtue of having fewer penalties. And Beard Boost is actually going to take 2nd as well. Ultimate falls all the way down to 3rd. Low falls to 5th. And the entire field is getting reset totally due to the penalties. Basically everyone except for Beard Boost had a penalty at the end, and Sasha Andre just barely takes home the win over Beard Boost in the end. But Sasha Andre goes from pole to victory. May not have led a lot of laps, but he was able to make the right decisions and make the right moves where it counted. And for Beard Boost, having to suffer an extra pit stop penalty and still being able to come home 2nd, just 0.2 off of the winner in the end, I think that's pretty significant. But we're going to have to talk to Sasha Andre about a victory, and boy, what a victory it was there. Beard Boost doesn't look very happy. You could see him right there in celebration in earnest. Congratulations to the Racing Point team for being able to make this happen today. And there's your results. Sasha Andre is your winner by virtue of just having fewer penalties over the cars around him. Ultimate could have won if he didn't have 2 3-second penalties in the end, and Beard Boost ends up taking 2nd by virtue of just not having penalties. CJ Allen, the Alfa Romeo, comes home 4th, Low in the Williams 5th, Starfish in the Renault 6th because he had a bunch of penalties as well. Ollie in the Haas 7th, Wise Uter 8th, Smoothie 25 comes home 9th. Again, no penalties really helped him get points in the end. Fiend gets a 10th place position. Tigors all the way to 11th due to a massive amount of penalties. Jabez Sean 12th, Ken 13th, Joe Pelly 14th, Dedgar 15th, Hurricane 16th, Anderson 17th, Zola 18th, Venom 19th, and Pingu will come home in the 20th position. I'm going to try one more time to invite Sasha Andre into the party. I do want to hear what he has to say about that victory. And coming into the party. And here in the party right now, it is your race winner, Sasha Andre. Sasha, absolutely incredible job throughout qualifying and the race itself. Please tell us about that win today.
And quite a win you did take. And it was really difficult there at the end where you had to fight a Ferrari, and although he wasn't right there on the track with you, Beard Boost, due to Beard Boost having no penalties, you won final results. When you calculate all the penalties as well, you only won by about 0.2 of a second at the line. But still, a win is a win. Absolutely, congratulations on that victory today. Very well earned from pole to the win. Anything else you want to say going forward into the next events? Alright, well, there's the word from your race winner, Sasha Andre, bringing home a victory in the Racing Point Mercedes-powered car. And that's going to wrap up XRL's events here at Monza this weekend. Next week, we are looking at XRL going to Singapore. I will definitely be there for X3. I can't verify we'll be there for X2 or not, but if not me, someone else will more than likely be there, be able to cover the event. But anyways, I've absolutely enjoyed both events today. X2 and X3 both put on fantastic shows. But alas, all good things must come to an end. And we are going to begin signing off here at XRL in Monza. I have been Insanely R13. This has been the Extreme Racing League series. Once again, thank you to Extreme Racing League for letting me go ahead and host these events. I am going to see some of you, hopefully all of you, next week at Singapore. Sayonara.